Hey party people, I'm back with Frank. We're going to be talking about the Isle of Cats. We had another video with a really good overview, but we're going to talk about it again. But we want to make sure you know, if you're a solo player, what that's like, because that's what gets me hyped. Go ahead and take it away, man. I want to go ahead and show how it works.
Cool, so this is the Isle of Cats, which is a 1-to-4 player game, and the player at the end of the game with the most points is going to win. But in the solo mode of this game, you're not just going to be aiming for a high score. You're going to be playing against a simulated experience, which represents another player that you need to be.
Yeah, that's what we want.
For me, that's what you want, right? You want a proper solo mode, and I've spent a lot of time developing this as a separate part of the game that's included in every box.
Right.
So let's talk about how the game works. This is the Isle of Cats, and Vesh is this evil warlord who has destroyed the entire world. His armies are running out of resources, so he's heading to this island. When he gets to this island, he's going to chop down the trees, he's going to dig out the mines and just rip it to pieces. But it's inhabited by these ancient creatures. These cats need rescuing. So each of us are going to get on a boat and we're going to go to this island and rescue as many as we can, because in 5 days' time, or in 5 rounds, Vesh will be here and we'll have to retreat. So, at the start of each round, we're going to add cats to either side of the island. In a 2-player or solo mode, you're going to add 4 cats to each side, 2 per player, and you're going to put them in sequence. So the first 4 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
And this is used just to be able to identify them for the solo mode. After that, we're going to go fishing. Fishing is really straightforward. Every player is just going to get 20 fish, so in the solo mode you're going to take your 20 fish, and that is the resource that you can use to spend as you play through the game. You're then going to do exploration. In the normal game this is a card draft. In the solo mode you're going to be given 5 cards, you're going to look at your 5 cards, you're going to choose 3 of them, discard the other 2. You're then going to get given 5 more cards, choose 3 of those, place them down, discard 2, and then you draw 1 card from the end to represent that card where the other players are screwing you over and just giving you trash you don't want. So, you then end up with 7 cards. Once you've got your 7 cards, you will see that each card has a number in the top left-hand corner. So these have 1, 2, 5, 2, and so on.
Right.
These represent how much it costs to keep that card. So if I want to take this treasure here, it's going to require 2 fish because there's a cat protecting it and I need to distract that cat.
Okay.
So of the 20 fish you got at the start, you might spend 15 fish on your cards. You don't have to keep them, you keep as many as you want, you can not keep any, it's up to you. But this is part of the balance, because once you've done that, you're going to use these cards to rescue cats. The first thing you're going to do after you've selected your cards is you're going to take your blue lesson cards and put them face down on the side of the table. We'll come back to those in a minute because those are to do with end of game scoring. In the solo mode, you can have them face up because of course there's no one else to see them. And having to remember them seems a little bit silly. So, we're then moving on to the rescue phase. In the rescue phase, you're going to take any green cards you have and you're going to choose which ones you want to play. So I may decide to play these and keep this one in my hand. You'll see here that I've got 2 broken baskets. I can use 2 broken baskets to rescue a cat. So now I can choose one of the cats and place it on my boat. You'll also see that I have speed, so I have got 6 speed in total. This represents how fast I am. So there is a solo deck of cards, I don't have them here, but will represent how fast the enemy player is going to be, and you're competing against that. It will also tell you what cats they're rescuing. So you and the AI will take it in turns to take cats. If we're the fastest, we'll choose one of these. Let's say we're going to rescue this cat here. So this cat, because it came from this side of the island, is going to cost us 3 fish. The cats on this side of the island are going to cost us 5 fish. So you are finding a balance between how many fish you spend on your cards and what cats you want to rescue. The first cat you place, you can place it absolutely anywhere on your boat. So for instance, we might place this one over here. You can rotate them, you can twist them, you can flip them, you can do whatever makes sense as long as it's within this outer boundary.
So when you're trying to cover these rats.
And you're trying to cover things as you might expect. Once you've done that, you're then going to reveal the card and it's going to tell you which of the cats the AI is going to take. So it's going to maybe take this one and then this one's going to be taken away. You don't have to place it anywhere, it's just removed from the game. Because we're not trying to simulate another board being populated, we want to simulate the fact that you're losing opportunities. So after that, we might rescue another cat. From now on, every piece we take is going to have to be adjacent to a previously placed piece. So I can't put it diagonally, I can't put it over here, I'm going to put it here touching this cat.
And what's this treasure? Like
you may see that there's different treasures. There are 5 treasures. If you place a cat of a matching color on a treasure, so a green cat on a green treasure, then you can take a free treasure from the common supply. These are a limited resource, and again, they may get taken by the AI player, and as you take them, you can place them on your boat. They're not worth points, but they're really useful for filling gaps, and again, they have to be adjacent to previously placed pieces. So once you've played all of your baskets and run out of fish, you're then going to move on to the next phase. The next phase is the rare finds phase. And in this phase, you're going to be playing any yellow cards and any brown cards you've got, and you're just going to go through them. So the yellow cards allow you to take more treasures. You may take a rare treasure, which are these kind of bigger treasures that exist, or you may take smaller treasures, which can fill little gaps. So it's up to you what's going to be important. The little treasures, however, aren't worth anything. The big treasures are worth points, but they're not as practical for filling gaps. You'll also find the Oshaks. The Oshaks in this game are a wild cat. So there are 6 different Oshaks that are available. You can choose which one you want, and again, you place it onto your boat. When you place it on your boat, following the normal rules, it has to be adjacent, but the Oshaks don't like to be on their own. They have to have a friend. So now I'm choosing that. I'm going to say this is going to be a green cat, and now it's part of this green family. And you'll see,
cool equals guy.
I've left this horrible little gap here, so maybe one of these common treasures is going to be the perfect piece. And to do that, I'm going to want to put a red cat on here, perhaps, or a purple cat here. However, you're going to score points for having lots of similar cats together. So we've played all our cards. We've got to the end of the round. The cats we haven't rescued are gone, and we're going to cycle through that 5 times. So we're going to get new cats, we're going to get new fish, we're going to get new cards, and keep going. At the end of the game, we do scoring. So we'll talk about how you score, and then I'll talk about how the other player scores. So you are going to lose 1 point for every rat which you have not covered on your boat. So there's 19 rats in total, and the different player boats have different layouts, so it kind of adds a bit more variance to it as well. You're also going to find that every room
you said the boards are different?
The boards are different. So the boat shape's the same, but the rats are in different positions, the treasure maps are different,
that's
and so
cool.
on.
So you'll have like a different, you can kind of change it up just with that alone.
Exactly, and it just adds a little bit of variance to it.
Man.
And obviously when you're playing with other players, it also means you've all got different starting points. So you also lose points for each room that you haven't filled. So there are 7 rooms on your boat separated by these walls, and you'll also see that each room has icons in different corners to help you identify which ones they are.
I see that.
It's a little bit hard to see on screen, but you can obviously see it in real life.
Cool woods down here.
So each of these 7 rooms that aren't completely filled are going to be minus 5 points. So you start the game on minus 54, and as you fill your boat, you're going to start working your way up to positive points, hopefully. You're then going to score for cat families. So cat families are going to score points for every family of cats, which is cats of the same colour which are touching, that have at least 3 of the same colour. So there are 3 green cats here, that's going to score me 8 points. If I have another green cat here, it's going to score me 11 points. If this one was here and it was touching the treasure, it's not touching these, so it's not part of the family, and it wouldn't score points. You score every family you've got. So you may want bigger ones because they score more points, but equally you may end up with multiples that are distributed. So far, that's fairly straightforward. It's how you fill your boat, but where this game starts to get really, really interesting is that you also have the lesson cards, which are the cards we put down earlier. And these give you personal objectives that you need to complete. So in this example, you get 12 points if there are no empty spaces at the edge of your boat. So you want to fill the outside. In this game, 50 to 70 points is a good score, so 12 is a lot of points. But you're never going to fill the whole boat, so you're making a decision now to work around the outside. I want to keep lots of green cats because that's going to give me points, but I want to get a treasure, so do I want to have a red cat here and break my green family, and so on. This one here is 10 points if you've got no visible rats on your boat. So if I'm going around the outside, now I'm going to have to come in and cover these rats in the middle as well, which I might not have enough to do. This one here makes treasures worth 1 point. So, was originally treasures weren't worth anything, now treasures are worth more. So again, covering these is going to be worth more points to me. There are 40 different lesson cards in the game. So when you play through, you're going to have different combinations. And as you only fill 50 to 70% of your boat, they're really going to change what you have to do.
So how does the AI score? Like,
so
what do they do versus you?
At this point, this is how you score, and that's you done. So now we're going to get to the solo player. So I've only got some quick cards I've just put together here. But at the start of the game, and I'll just move everything out
It's
the
a
way.
beautiful prototype, by the way.
Cool, thank you. Prior
be
to the
okay
solo
with the cards.
stuff.
Right, prior to the solo cards.
So at the start of the game, you are going to put down the 5 color cards.
Okay.
And you're going to shuffle them and have one face up.
Okay.
You know at the start of the game that every yellow cat on your
right.
boat
Yellow
is
cat.
going to be worth 5 points to the other player.
Oh,
so
okay.
the story behind this is your evil sister has snuck aboard your boat, and when you get home, she's trying to claim credit for everything you've done.
Okay.
So she is scoring off your boat alongside you. So you're losing 5 points per yellow cat. When you get to the second round, you now know that green cats are going to give them 4 points. So you're going to want to start adjusting your strategy. As you get to the third round, red cats are going to be 3. The next one, blue, is going to be 2. And then finally, purple is going to be 1. So at the end of the game now, I know that the player is going to get 5 points per yellow, 4 per green, and it changes what you want to put on your boat. So as in the multiplayer game, as you see other players are starting to focus on certain pieces, this is going to force you to focus on different pieces to what they're doing, or you're going to be competing with them.
Right.
The other part of this is you're also going to, depending on the difficulty you want to play, you're going to select some lesson cards.
Okay.
So let's for instance say we're playing on the easy mode. We're going to take 3 basic lesson cards and we're going to put them down on the table face up.
Okay.
If we want to make it harder, we can start taking the advanced. So the medium will be 1, the
Right.
hard will be 2, the very hard will be 3.
Okay.
So for the sake of this, we'll keep it down just to the easy mode.
Right.
At the end of the game, as well as scoring for these, the other player is also going to score for these things.
Right.
So this one says they get 3 points per room you have filled.
Yeah.
So now when you fill a room, you're giving them 3 points. This one says 2 points per cat
Oh,
in the
wow.
largest family. So if I've
Yeah.
gone for 10 green cats,
Right.
they're getting
Good,
20.
yeah.
So now I want to
That's-
focus on getting
yeah.
lots of little families.
Lots of little families,
This one
yeah.
says 5 points for every cat over 15. So that means that I don't want to get more than 15 cats. So
Okay.
if we jump back to the lesson cards we had earlier, we said here, like 1 point per treasure. Maybe because if every card over 15, they're going to get points, maybe I want to focus more on getting treasures.
Right.
Because they're going to get more points for every family, maybe rather than having lots of greens, I want to get the
Right.
green and the red and the purple,
I
because it's
like
going to
that.
start
I
giving
like
me
that.
more.
It changes your mindset.
Exactly.
You just kind of say, hey, I'm going to waste it because I know what the AI is. That's really
Exactly.
cool, man.
And there are lots and lots
Yeah.
of these cards. So every
Yeah.
time you play, you're going to have different combinations, and they're going to force you to play against different layouts.
Right. Play against a different layout.
Exactly.
That's crazy. So you're going to have different boards, you got different starting points, you got different cards that are going to come out. Of course, in the regular game, you're going to have different blue cards you got to
Yeah, of
collect.
course.
But then the AI is also going to change how you approach that,
Yeah.
and that'll always be different.
Yep. And
Wow.
the better you get at the game, the more of those cards you
Yeah.
add. So we say to people, if you've played the game 20 or 30 times, then you can play against 5 cards. Once you've played it like 40 or 50 times, then maybe
Right.
6 or 7 cards.
Right.
And it really just keeps that challenge.
Wow, man! Thank you so much. And
Oh,
that was a
it's
really good
absolutely my
overview.
pleasure.
You went all in on that one, man. You have and because you have a lot to offer.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of content to offer. Right
It's
out the
about
gate.
60 minutes in solo mode,
Yeah.
so just to give you an idea.
And you said it wasn't even like an expansion. It's part of the base.
Yeah, that's
game.
part of the
Wow.
base game.
Wow. So this is coming to Kickstarter when?
It's going to be on the 25th of June.
Oh man! All right. So where can people find more details about the game and then
So
head into that Kickstarter?
we're very active on Board Game Geek. So if you go to the Isle of Cats page on Board Game Geek, you'll find us in the forums. You can also go to our website, thecityofkings.com, that has posts and listings to all of our various social networks.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for your time. That is
my pleasure.
Isle of Cats. Stay tuned for more coverage from Origins 2019. Jambalaya Plays Games.